I'm here to paint a picture of what I can bring to the table, and it's just all about risk taking. You guys want to take a risk on a candidate. How can I make you more comfortable in taking that risk? What kind of other questions can I answer for you? And I do that in a lot of interviews where they sort of end too early or something like that, and it actually works. And he said, I don't know, what do you think? And so I said, whatever you do, don't ask an accounting question. Then they all laughed, blah, blah, blah. But 2 days later, I met up with Markham and she gave me a crash course. So I sent an email and said, this is how it works. And, I made it 6 rounds and then they hired me. So it works.
Good job.
Probably the most difficult question I had is when I was interviewing for a treasury program at JP Morgan. And I went in and they threw down a piece of graph paper and a pencil and just started spitting out probability questions. Dice games, gambling, what's the expected return of this, of this, of this, and it kept getting progressively harder. I was sweating, it was bad. It was like 30 minutes of probability questions, like intense statistical questions. That was good.
So anyway, I think the theme for tonight is if you can take away, I guess, a few main points, I'd say consistency, endurance, and tenacity, really as one, just be tenacious. Actually, I'm going to echo what a person spoke here who's from FBR. Oh, his name's James Gainsler. Steve Gainsler, thanks. Steve Gainsler spoke here. He's a fund manager for a hedge fund at FBR. And he said that a lot of times people say getting good jobs is good luck. But he said you have to work really hard for good luck. And I think that's a really good point because I think all of us could say that the fact that we happened to get in where we did, definitely did take some good luck, but on the same token, it also took a lot of hard work. Like what I was saying is I eventually got through to this guy and it eventually turned into a job. So I think hard work brings good luck, be extremely tenacious, and take everything that happens as a learning experience, and you'll find that you'll keep on learning and you'll eventually get to where you want to be. Yeah.
I just want to put a plug in. We have a career management course that is open to undergraduates as well as graduate students, so consider that. For example, the final is a mock interview, and it's of an industry and function that you choose, and in fact we're working on it right now, and we have mock interviews from the actual companies. Like we have somebody coming from FBR, we have somebody coming from Morgan Stanley, we have somebody coming from McKinsey. So it's a real life interview with a hiring manager. So think about that. Giselle Goutier teaches that. The other thing is think about doing the case competition. It really fine tunes your problem solving and your analytical skills. And thirdly, think about going on the Wall Street trip in the fall. Nothing like being there, and I think Jesse went, and Justin, a few of others in here went, and I think it was really interesting and really worthwhile.
Any other questions or just
It seemed like a lot of the presentation was geared towards the big banks. Do you have anything to add with smaller financial firms? Or?
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks.
Well, I've worked at two or actually 3 boutique shops before FBR, and FBR still is more like a boutique, but I worked in much smaller firms before FBR, and they've been very valuable and definitely gave me the experience to eventually get an offer at FBR.
You gotta, I think, in terms of actually seeking out the opportunities, there's not gonna be an online application. It's gonna be the snail mail type deal. You gotta be creative. A lot of the companies aren't gonna say, here's the HR contact, and the HR contact didn't come to AU to say hi either. So you go to their investor relations page, call the person and be like, I'm looking they have the wrong number. I mean, you just got to be creative in finding out how you can find out who's going to get you in.
I can definitely give some stories about that too. Actually one secret, I was thinking you have some secrets. This is a secret. If you, say it's like your sophomore year and you apply for one of these programs at one of the banks, and they usually send out a mass standard email saying we appreciate your application, you didn't get the job, etc. Expect it if you're a sophomore. It's good to get to know the process anyway. But when they send out those emails, if you look, sometimes embedded is the email address of the person that sent it. So I actually found that for one of the JP Morgan recruiters, and I ended up starting a relationship with her. And it turned out I ended up speaking with her for a while. And so that's one idea for you. If you ever get an email like that, just do kind of some detective work and look at the fine lines, and you can find people's names that way. Another thing is, I had a contact with JP Morgan, and it was in a different area of the bank, and I was trying to talk to someone in investment banking. So he's like, all right, talk to this guy. This is his name. He'll be good to talk to. All right, I got to go by. And he hung up right away, and I was like, whoa, like I don't have his email address. I don't have his number. I don't have anything. I just got this guy's name in like JP Morgan, which was like the third largest bank in the U.S., So I had someone's number that had a secretary. So I called up. I said, hey, I'm looking for Michael Monforth. This is his office, right? And they said, oh, no, you got the wrong place. I said, okay, do you by chance know where his number is? So she ended up forwarding me, and I just kind of went through that way and got to his desk. So, definitely it takes some detective work and some thinking outside the box.
Yeah, if you know somebody that works at a bank, so like if like Rich, he's sitting at Lehman. Every bank has the Outlook program for their emails, and every Outlook program has everybody's name. You don't have to add your own contacts. They have everybody's name that works there. If you're trying to look for somebody at Lehman, you call Rich and say, I know this guy's first and last name. They told me to contact him. I don't have the email address. I lost it. I misplaced it, whatever. And he can just type in the last name, and boom, you got a name and a number. Yeah. So it's real, and all the like at gs.com or at whatever citigroup.com or some of them. I mean, some of them are different. Credit-Suisse. I can tell you, I got them. So.
Just a kind of an interesting side note. When I was at JP Morgan, I was reading Wall Street Journal one morning, and I saw that the airlines research equity analyst for JP had been quoted in the article. So I actually just took his name and went in the database and sent him an email, and I was like, oh, I noticed blah blah in this article, and I asked him a couple of questions. I was like, could you meet with me for 30 minutes? And I went to his office, and he spent 30 minutes like telling me his life story. But like, so now he's like one of my contacts, and I've stayed in touch with him. Like, there's little tricks like that, like help you out.
Did you land, Rob, or are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
JP Morgan. Yeah.
Somebody had a question.
Yeah. Say if you get an internship in New York, is that going to be paid or not?
Yeah, it's going to be paid. You get prorated just like you were full time.
Pretty much. Yeah. So there's no bonus and there's no signing bonus.
There's a stipend. So
to
it's
live?
like $2,000.
Stipend
for like living.
Yeah, if you're gonna move, you have to get up and move. Well, everybody gets it. If you work for the George Banner. Wait, you got it, right? Stipend? You didn't? Well, I got an hour.
I didn't get a stipend. You got paid hourly?
Oh, good for you though.
Yeah, I got overtime.
Actually, hourly is what you want.
You got overtime.
Usually they'll pay you a salary.
So usually it's salary. You're gonna get paid basically $10,000 before tax, and then
you guys aren't in this job for the money anyway.
yeah,
So.
you don't want to. It's not that. And then $2,000, which it's taxed like a bonus, so you'll see $1,200 of it, but that'll help go towards your living. I spend a lot of money on drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, drinks and shopping in New York, but you do make money. They don't just sit you up there to lose
to spend
all your savings.
Especially when you're working 60 hours a week, 20 hours overtime.
And you most of the days to give you complimentary 3 meals a day, which is nice.
Most of them. If you stay after a certain time,
Well,
you get a free meal, but I don't know about 3 meals.
At FDR they have breakfast and hot catered lunch every day.
Where were you guys?
No, they have it at other banks too.
I was at Merrill, and we got, if you stay after like 7, you got food. If you stay after 9, you get a black card taken home. That's
a black card?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, the black cards.